Giselle.
Hi.
How are you feeling today on a Saturday?
Pretty good.
Alright, so let's jump right into it, shall we?
Yes.
Let's talk about vaginismus. So, lots of people don't actually know what vaginismus is or how it works, and they kind of live in fear about it, I think, and they wonder if they'll never find a partner, if they'll never be with someone, because they find it hard to have penetrative sex.
Yes.
So, what do you think about that?
Well, so basically, for anyone who doesn't know, vaginismus is a condition that makes it extremely painful or sometimes impossible to have penetrative sex.
Yeah.
And it can be for a number of reasons. So there's primary and secondary. So primary means that you've never been able to have penetrative sex, and secondary means that you have, but you develop the condition later on, possibly as a result of trauma, like rape or something.
Okay.
Like that. So for me, it was primary, and I think it was because I grew up in a very conservative family, and I was quite felt pretty guilty about sex stuff. So then when I started doing it, it was really painful, and it did not stop being painful for quite a long time. So and it took me a long time to actually go and actually do something about it, because I felt a lot of shame and embarrassment and stuff. So I just pretended it didn't exist for ages. But then I started getting treatment, and then I started writing about it, and I think now in the media actually it's quite openly discussed.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say that I started it, but yeah, like.
But you think as compared to the past, it's just a lot more.
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
Even on really major websites, and like women's magazines and stuff. There's a lot more awareness of it now than there was before, and I think that's really important, because it's actually quite common, and a lot of women or people with vaginas who have it.
And it's like a secret shame, right?
It is.
People
Yeah, it
feel
is.
like it's a secret shame, yeah.
It is, and they're like, is there something wrong with me? What if no one likes me? Well, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've written about it a fair bit, but I really think there's more that we can do to raise awareness of it.
Okay. So you were recently included in the sex positive anthology, Doing It, Women Tell the Truth About Great Sex. So your piece about getting it online, feminism, dating and sex, explores the way in which internet dating has really revolutionized the sexual landscape for all kinds of people, not just women, right? We're talking about non-binary people who don't fit into a cis-het, white, male context, So could you tell me, how do you think the internet has revolutionized sex?
Well, I think there's just a lot more choice now, and it gives you it's kind of a platform through which you can meet people who you might not come across in your everyday life, right? So for me, I grew up in the suburbs in Sydney around people who are very conservative, and not even just in terms of dating and sex, but in terms of just making friends and finding similar people to me. The internet has been really important in shaping the way that I look at things, and the people that I have access to and stuff, because it just blows. Like, it's like a whole world opens in front of you. And I guess in terms of sex and stuff like that, especially the apps that have options for trans people and non-binary people who don't fit into these very
mainstream traditional
roles, it's quite a lot easier now to find people who understand where you're coming from, and you feel like you don't have to explain all this stuff. So I mean, for me, the internet for dating has been really important, because I'm pretty shy. I don't really know how to approach people, and it's just a good way to.
But you talk about sex all the time, so
it's just a really good way to kind of like test the waters a little. And it's just been such a huge thing for me. So the piece that I wrote is about my experiences using internet dating, because I was in a relationship for 5 years. So when I got out of it, I was 25, and I hadn't really been with anyone else and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really important tool for me to be able to explore parts of myself or my sexuality or whatever that I just hadn't before.
I remember reading something about how you had said that casual sex had actually helped you with your vaginismus.
Yeah, so basically, so like I said, I had a boyfriend for a really long time. We always had those problems. He was really, really patient and lovely about it, but it was just like this massive elephant in the room. And then we broke up, and I was like, oh my god, that like someone actually liked me, and now we're not together anymore. And what am I?
Will anyone ever like me again and deal with this?
Yeah, and I mean, I remember a friend of mine. This was before I'd written anything about it, so only some people knew. And a friend of mine said, well, like I'm really curious to see how dating's going to go for you now, because like no one's going to want you. And I was like,
no way.
Bye bye. So we're not friends anymore. But anyway,
well,
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know.
What? This assumption that everyone, I mean, asexuals exist, aromantic people exist, and they can be in relationships as well. And sex is not a prerequisite for a relationship. And this idea that no one will date you because you won't let their penis into your vagina is weird. Someone just walked past and looked at us.
So people saying stuff like that made me be like, maybe there is something wrong with me. But I think, so at first when I started seeing people or whatever, I would have to broach the subject quite gently because I was worried because I didn't know how it was going to go. But then once it started being fine, I felt as though being able to do the casual thing just meant that I could just...
And did you find that when you did approach the subject that people were more accepting than you thought they were going to be?
Yeah, totally. I mean, this was mostly when I was bringing it up often was when I was actually like dating people, not just one-time things. But they were like, well, I like you. So,
yeah, exactly.
So like, it's fine and it doesn't change anything kind of thing. And some people were kind of weird about it, but I felt like it was a good litmus test because if they were like, ew, I'd be like, okay, bye.
Exactly.
So, yes, but then with the casual stuff, I think it was just me being like, well, I'm going to take my new wheels for a ride now. So... and I mean, if things didn't work out, then I'd be like, okay, well, I don't really care because I
weren't very invested in this anyway.
I don't care about you, random person. So I guess it did help me a lot in that way. There's heaps of like bad things about it too.
Yeah.
I mean, the least of which is that it's just not very good. But like pleasure. It's not great, but. I don't know, like I think it definitely taught me to kind of loosen up a bit, not pardon the disgusting pun.
So let's talk about how race and sexual identity or expression can function. Do you think the way you navigate sex and sexuality is possibly different from white cishet women?
I mean, that's really interesting to me because obviously I come from a Vietnamese background, but I was raised here. I was born here, I was raised here. Most of my friends were white growing up, so I feel like the way that I look at things versus the way that a Vietnamese woman in Vietnam looks at things are completely different. And even like me versus my mom or whatever, like I know that she doesn't agree with me on a lot of things. And I think the really interesting thing to me is that I feel like it's quite hard to unlearn things because sometimes I catch myself thinking things that I would have been taught when I grew up and I'm like, what the hell? Like I definitely don't think that. But when it's been drilled into you for like 20 years or whatever, it's like a little bit of guilt still.
So it's very hard to break socialization.
Yeah, so I don't know, like I feel like the way that I look at a lot of things is very westernized.
Right.
But at the same time, like I said, there's still like shreds of
your
like super old school stuff in there.
Which is really understandable for like first generation people who are born and raised in Australia, but with parents who are quite traditional and from the old ways.
And even not in terms of sexuality explicitly, but some other stuff. Like for example, my parents. I'm 27 and they're still like, well, we wouldn't feel comfortable if you lived with a partner before you were married and stuff like that. And it hasn't come up because I am so alone. But when I think about it, I'm like, well, what's going to happen when we get to that? Because and I feel like the difference between me and someone not from a really traditional background is that they can quite easily say, well, why don't you just do it anyway? But the thing is that Vietnamese and also a lot of other ethnic Asian people are so conservative and really based around these structures of respecting your parents and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just going to do it anyway and I don't care what you think.
Exactly.
Because those relationships are really important to me. So I guess that's a really big consideration for me And it would be as well in terms of me considering a partner and stuff if they were cool with those things.
Okay. So, what do you think about the fetishization of Asian women? Especially, I think, East Asian and
The worst.
Southeast Asian women.
Yeah, it's gross. And I think that's also a really big thing on online dating. When you have guys being like, hey, I've always wanted to have sex with an Asian woman. I'm like, okay, cool. See ya. Yeah, no, it's really gross.
It is, yeah.
But the thing that's quite interesting about it to me is that everybody has preferences, right? Like physical preferences.
Yes,
So I have a type or whatever, but I feel like the underlying thing with the fetishization is these really outdated notions of like subservience.
Yes.
And all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I dated a guy and he had like 3 or 4 Asian girlfriends before me, but it's like, well, maybe he just met people that he liked, you know, like it's such a...
It's hard to tell the
fine
line between fetishization and preference.
Yeah, but I think he was never like, oh my god, I love that you're Asian.
Yeah.
Where some dudes are very open about like, hey, like I got a message on OkCupid that said I love Oriental women. Yeah, so stuff like that I'm like,
who still uses the word Oriental?
I know. Oh, I replied and I was like, oh, how so cool that you're a time traveler. How's stuff going in 1800? That's so awesome. I don't think he got the joke. But,
no, I doubt that he did.
Yeah, so it is a big problem and it sucks, but again, it's just an easy way to weed people out and be like, goodbye forever. And I think anyway, even if people do fetishize me, when they actually speak to me and see that I'm not what they thought I was, because those guys are usually looking for women who like grew up in Asia. They can be like, oh, my like special little wife or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm really not like that at all. So I feel like when they actually start talking to me, they're like, oh, you have a mind of your own and I hate it. So
let me leave now.
Yeah. But it is difficult. I have been known to ask people on dates and stuff like, so do you have yellow fever? And they're like, what? I'm like, just wondering.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just trying to work it out, right? Yeah. How do you think the open expression of sexuality and sexual desire in Asian women actually actively combats these kinds of stereotypes?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of hard because, again, I know that I'm approaching things from quite a Western perspective, so it might help other Asian women who grew up here, but in terms of reaching people who might need more help with that, for example, in Vietnam and in other countries, like, I'm not exactly sure what the best way would be to reach those people. So I spoke to someone the other day about like sex education in Vietnam and how it's quite poor, and there's still a lot of stigma and stuff. And he said, well, you're doing horse riding and stuff. Like, do you think that helps? I think it helps people like me who grew up in traditional families. But in terms of infiltrating other cultures, it's so hard because you also don't want to be a real like imperialist and just be like, I'm just going to make you think like a white person, because that's really bad too.
Yeah.
So it's so difficult to tell, but at the same time I really appreciate that there have been a lot of women of colour who are quite open about issues that are considered really taboo in those cultures, like sex or abortion or any of that kind of stuff. Like, I think that's all really important for us to break out of the molds that we have been put into. But I feel like for me personally, I'd like to think about what I can do to take that even further. And I mean, with the vaginismus stuff, when I wrote that, and this still happens quite frequently, even people that I know would message me and say, oh, I have this as well, but I never told anyone. And it's nice because I feel like a lot of the time I write the stuff that I would want to read. So the reason that I started writing about vaginismus in the first place is because when I was going through it, I couldn't find any of those resources. There were resources online, but they were quite dry, written by women who were a lot older than me, and I was a teenager. So so I feel like I've just started writing the kind of stuff that I know would have helped
you when you were younger.
Yeah.
All right, Giselle, thank you for a great interview, and good luck with your writing.
Thanks.